It's the first cook of 2024. Brisket is king, and I thought it'd be best to start off with the top dog. Many ways to cook brisket. I feel like I developed mine over many cooks, and I feel like it's constantly developing. Every year, every time is another idea, another turn in a direction. Brisket is a tense cut of meat. It's a muscle in the bottom of the cow, and it holds up a lot of the weight. Something strange about burning a piece of meat or crusting a piece of meat and somehow coming out juicy, tender. Usually when you develop a crust or a char, you end up with leather. Something magical that happens with brisket, where you get that juicy, tender result. It's a truly unique cut of meat. I started my cook early, as is my current tradition. I try to start early these days. I want to give myself as much time to work through problems. I'm definitely the school of thought of more trim than less. I tend to go for a more aerodynamic approach, meaning no sharp edges. Everything is going to crisp up, sometimes too crispy and sometimes dried out. So you really don't want to have any sharp square edges. All that's just going to crisp up, dry up, and you'll be left with leather. So you definitely want to go over the edges. Make sure you're smooth. So with the trimming process, as is, you're left with a lot of excess meat. It came into my head and it just kind of popped in there. Let me try to make jerky. I love jerky. I'm going to put the recipe below. Like I said, I really love jerky, and hey, it works, then I have something to snack on for the next 12 hours, or it doesn't. It was going to become tallow anyway, so not a big loss there. It's a wonder how quick we go from dark blue hour to day. I start with my coal bed as usual. Really important, especially right now. I'm really fighting the moisture. Everything is wet. I have stored wood inside, but it's in my shed, and it's not sealed, and just the air is soaked. I think once the weather decides that it's just gonna stay frozen, which I think we're pretty close to it, it's gonna be a little easier on the cook. I keep my brisket rub simple: pepper, salt, Lawrys. You can go whichever way, really. I mean, I used to do salt, pepper. Now it's out of the Lawrys, I fell into that whole excitement. It makes a difference. I can't say that it's amazingly better, but I don't know. I kind of like, if it works, I don't change it. Probably I'll get bored in a few months and just kick something in a different direction. The trick here with the jerky is I kind of started it when the smoker was at, I would say, 175. So it's a little bit difficult because it did delay my cook with the brisket. So it's definitely something to consider if you want to make it at the same time. It will slow you down on an already 12-hour cook. I think I just flirted with the devil a little bit, and I'm like, okay, so it'll come in a little hot. I'll just watch it. With 12 hours to burn, I figured I'd show you guys a little bit of the property. We have no one around us. They're acres away. I love the winter up here. I mean, I love the summer, of course, but the 30, 40 people that are on this mountain, there may be 5 of them. And it's a stillness that you feel. There's nothing better. As you see, the jerky was running, I would say, for around 4 hours. It's super dried out. The recipe will be in the description. You must try these. These were literally amazing. Charlie came to visit, and he did not get jerky because I'm pretty sure it would have killed him. At this point, we're about 6 hours in, 6 to 7 hours in. I don't have a timestamp or anything. It's cruising. I don't really spritz. Not a spritz guy. I think it slows down the cook. And if you have fire management, which I know it looks like a sloppy fire, I'm not one of those stack the wood type thing. I end up using my chimney. I keep the door slightly closed so there's not a big draft and the fire's always like pulling into the smoker. So just work more on fire management, keeping a good steady fire, trying to cruise at, I would say 250 is my goal. I think that we're getting it from 230 to 250 because you have to sit there if you really want it to be perfect and anticipate every bit. At this point, it's around 6 to 7 hours. I start poking the surface, trying to feel that fat starting to just have my finger go through that fat layer. That's gonna show me that the fat's starting to render. The magic's starting to happen. No spritzing, just checking. You see how the finger kind of goes in. It's not ready. It's just starting to give. At this point, we're coming upon 9 hours. I think I end up pulling at around 12 hours or so. I pull when it's done. I'm usually running a certain amount of fat tallow from my trimmings. So basically I take the fat from my trimming and I smoke it and create a tallow. And at this point, when the brisket is ready, I will wrap it in foil with the tallow. I normally don't put any on top, but if you see this time, I do pour it on top. And the reason why is, usually when I'm moving the brisket around, I end up licking my fingers. It was a little spicy to me, and I mean, you could use the tallow to dim the flavors. I don't know if it was the right decision at the end, because I kind of felt like, I feel like it washes it out. I think the tallow is better just in the bottom. Again, you really just need it for the bottom where the flat kind of runs through and a little extra. But all in all, it was a great 2024 cook. It reminded me why I do this, because I love it. I'll see you guys throughout the year. I'll be here doing what I do and having a good time.